Bo.
Yes.
Chyna. Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
What's happened?
The Great Don. He's in China.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool.
What do you think I'm saying?
I'd like to see him do that handshake when he sort of pulls them in. You know, they go to shake hands. He sort of pulls them towards him. I've not ever seen him do that to Xi. I've seen them shake hands 2 or 3 different times, but I've not seen him pull that trick with him. But anyway, go on. What's happened?
Well, we did a video on Japan. He's basically on an Asia visit, isn't he? Right, like he's on a visit all around Asia, and as he left Japan, he was then going to China, and so thought we'd take a look and see. So Trump and Xi meeting as it happened. So US president teases large energy deal.
Okay.
There's actually quite a lot of interesting stuff going on here. So Donald Trump has teased the prospect of a big oil and gas deal with China. After meeting President Xi Jinping, Winnie the Pooh. Trump said he'd score the meeting in South Korea 12 out of 10. 12 out of 10, he said. China also released a statement on TikTok after the talks. So, yeah, so just interesting. So basically, key points, right? Key take homes. Trump is going to cut China tariffs after 12 out of 10 Xi talks. So that's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 out of 10, the meeting with Xi was 12. 12, he said. Bloody... Gotta love Donald Trump and the way he
Not
talks.
even 11. Dialed it up to 11 and then one more.
It's got to be done.
All right.
It's got to be done, isn't it? So Trump said he agreed to lower tariffs on Chinese goods exported to the US by 10%. So it's not actually that much. It's not a big start. It's not actually a big drop, meaning the total US levy on its goods would be 47%. Still massive.
Still quite big, that, yeah.
Still huge. But that's good. Good. It should still be massive tariffs, right? You know, if you want to crush China, it's economically, you destroy them economically speaking. So, yeah, they should be large tariffs. The US president also said fentanyl tariffs would be cut to 10% from 20% after Beijing agreed to work hard to stop the drug from flowing into the US. I don't think that's a good one at all.
No.
That's a bad one. Fentanyl's killing.
Yeah.
It's rampant in the States. No, that's a bad one. I'm gonna say boo to Donald Trump there. Boo.
I feel like I'm no chemist. I'm no doctor. But fentanyl is, like, from what I do understand, is sort of crazy strong, isn't it? It's like stronger than morphine and stuff, right? So
it's the zombie drug. Turns into a zombie, basically.
So to me, in my mind, not really being in and around like serious drug taking circles or any drug taking circles, actually, feels like to me fentanyl should be in tiny quantities in hospitals, and that's it. If there's any sort of large scale trade in fentanyl, why should there be? No, stop it entirely. Put a 10,000% tariff on it. Stop that. We'll buy a little bit for our hospitals when they need it. Other than that, no, nothing. But okay, what do I know? Yeah,
no, I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. I don't think there's a just reason for it, but
it doesn't seem to be. No,
is what it is. Semiconductor chips were also on the agenda, but Trump said the White House is merely a referee between China and big tech firms like Nvidia. So, okay. I mean, they're not. The White House can put tariffs on specific things, but okay.
Okay. All right. Well,
it's an interesting one because they were trying to back Nvidia for a bunch of AI stuff. Do you remember? So it is interesting that they're sort of backing off on that a little bit. Yeah. But maybe that's because they've got that deal now with Japan for the rare earth minerals.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, I talked about this in. Sorry.
No, I was just saying maybe it's to do with that. I don't know. Maybe it's them like hard and soft on certain things strategically because they've got a backup elsewhere, so they don't actually need to go hard on that because they don't need it anymore. See what I mean?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I saw a very interesting pie chart. I was having a discussion with someone on Twitter, and they put up a pie chart of where the world's semiconductors are manufactured. I think I mentioned this in the last one, so I won't dwell on it for too long. But it was basically Taiwan make more than half, South Korea make good 20%. But what I found particularly interesting was that domestically, the US manufactures 7% of the world's semiconductors, and the Chinese manufacture 6% of the world's semiconductors. In other words, just domestically, in and of themselves, they've both got a similar amount, and that amount is relatively small. That's interesting to me for a number of different reasons. I guess, although I don't know, this is literally that, I guess, that Trump and the US calculate that they don't necessarily need to dominate the world semiconductor market to the tune of 40%, 60%. You actually don't need that. But I don't know. But it's interesting nonetheless. It's interesting nonetheless. If China did invade Taiwan and took over all of that industry, all of that market, would that be a game-changing, world-changing, war-changing thing or not? I don't know. I actually suspect it wouldn't be as much as some people think it might. But again, I don't know. It's interesting nonetheless.
Sorry, well, they've obviously calculated that it's not in their interest, clearly. So, yeah, I would imagine okay. Beijing is expected to roll back some of the export restrictions on so-called rare earths that led to tensions. So China had been restricting materials required for modern manufacturing for Europe and other countries, as well as the US. But again, remember, Trump just signed a deal with Japan for rare earths. So good, I guess. I mean, that's a good one, maybe.
One thing to say about that, which I think a lot of people might not necessarily know about rare earth metals, rare earth materials, is that it's only so far as we know so far. It's like oil or natural gas. Sure, you can have a map. You could ask Grok or something, or just Google, where's all the Earth's crude oil reserves, and it will show you, right? Where in the world are all the natural gas reserves, or where in the world are all the rare earth materials? Okay. But that's because we haven't checked the whole Earth, though.
Well, yeah.
We haven't prospected the entire surface of the Earth. It may well be that 10 years from now, they find a massive seam of a rare earth metal in Arizona. We don't know. So that's the thing when people say, oh, Saudi Arabia are sitting on all the oil. It's like, well, no, because we could easily find a new reserve up in like the Great Lakes or something. You never know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the thing to point out. It's not like China's got all the rare earths and that's the end of the story. No, not at all. Not at all. That's not how it works. That's not reality.
Yeah, no. Definitely worthwhile point. This one's interesting. There was also progress on soybeans, with China placing an initial order after months of refusing to buy from US farmers, many of whom hail from Trump supporting states. So one, that's really good for Trump, because obviously the farmers are now going to, be like, wow, Trump, did us a solid. Also kind of put them in that position anyway, but still, maybe, I don't know. It's still interesting. It's interesting that China doesn't make their own to the degree that they have to, import some, to be fair. That's the thing I find interesting.
Yeah. Some people talk about China's agriculture, that they have to, I might be, correct me if I'm wrong on this, anyone in the comments, but I believe China's a net importer of quite a lot of foodstuffs. Right? They export a crazy amount of manufactured goods, but I don't think without imports they can feed themselves. I mean, if they wanted to, if they needed to flip their entire country in order to feed themselves, they could. But at the moment, I believe they import lots and lots of food. I mean, Britain's the same. If we had to feed ourselves, we like tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to.
We used to be able to.
Yeah.
Used to.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that's good, right? So he claimed China would start buying American energy and that a very large-scale transaction may take place concerning the purchase of oil and gas from the great state of Alaska. So, little take home. Well, this is the it's quite a lot. It's a big truth social thing. So, said, I had a truly great meeting with President Xi of China. There is enormous respect between our two countries that will only be enhanced with what just took place. We agreed on many things, with others, even of high importance, being very close to resolved. I was extremely honored by the fact that President Xi authorized China to begin the purchase of massive amounts of soybeans, sorghum, and other farm products. Our farmers will be very happy. In fact, as I said once before during my first administration, farmers should immediately go out and buy more land and larger tractors. I would like to thank President Xi for this. Additionally, China has agreed to continue the flow of rare earth, critical minerals, magnets, etc., openly and freely. Very significantly, China has strongly stated that they will work diligently with us to stop the flow of fentanyl into our country. They will help us and end the fentanyl crisis. China also agreed that they will begin the process of purchasing American energy. In fact, a very large-scale transaction. Oh, don't know what happened there. Sorry. A very large-scale transaction may take place concerning the purchase of oil and gas from the great state of Alaska. Chris Wright, Doug Bergman, our respective energy teams will be meeting to see if such an energy deal can be worked out. So that's not done yet. The agreement reached today will deliver prosperity and security to millions of Americans. After this historic trip to Asia, I'm now heading back to Washington, D.C. I want to thank the great countries of Malaysia, Japan, South Korea for being so generous. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they want to buy oil and gas. They're all like batteries and stuff. But then maybe it's for their I don't know. I am surprised by that one.
Well, I don't know. So the United States is funny. Not funny, haha. Funny, interesting to note that under Trump's first administration, the US became had such a surplus of energy resources like crude oil and natural gas and things that they became a net exporter. Right, they've got more than they need, more than they can use, so let's start selling it. Then under Biden, they became a net importer because Biden's a traitor and a fifth columnist and the puppet of people that hate America. But then Trump flipped it back again, right? So that already, only like a year in or so, he's already, or less than a year in, becoming a net exporter again. And as for China, well, as I understand it, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone out there, although China's got a giant energy industry, it's not enough for them. They could basically they could always do with more, right? So they have got a giant energy industry, but they want more, need more, and so yeah, if someone's selling it, they're going to buy it. It's kind of straightforward in those terms, but yeah, why? It depends whether you view China as a true strategic enemy or not. Although, when you look back at history, it is very surprising that different countries still deal with each other, even when they're very, very close to war. For example, just one little example. America was still selling Imperial Japan oil right up until very soon before Pearl Harbor. In fact, many historians have argued that the reason why Japan pulled the trigger on Pearl Harbor was because America stopped selling them oil. So all the time when Imperial Japan was invading China and all parts of Asia, America was still selling them oil. Right? The United States, before it actually went to war with Nazi Germany, was still selling them steel and things. Right? And they know they're almost certainly going to go to war with them at some point, probably. So it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
You are a strategic enemy. You are in a cold war with someone, and yet you still buy and sell from them loads. I always think that's funny when you appreciate that fact.
Well, I guess why tank your economy preemptively? You do it right up until the point where that's no longer an option, I guess, don't you? You benefit from the transactional agreement up until the point of no return.
Yep. No, you're
I'm
right.
guessing that's the calculation.
But
I see your point.
Because trade is a two-way thing, right? Yeah, you're giving
Mm.
your enemy something they want or need, but you also want and need their stuff or their money as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, all in, I think this is an interesting development. I think this is interesting. Hopefully, to a degree, this will pull us back from the precipice that has, seen China buddy up with Russia and buddy up with India to create that sort of big block. And maybe this is strategic from that perspective as well. But there you go.
I didn't hear any words about Taiwan in there, I must say, one way or another.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That seemed to have not been discussed, if that Truth Social post is anything to go by, but who knows? Behind closed doors, who knows?